QVC is one that I personally love, and I know Scotty loves it too, which is GP66. Scotty, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there. You and I have probably nearly 40 years combined here at QVC, and I don't want to speak for you, but speaking for myself,
date us like that.
It is one of the top 5 products, really top 3 products I've ever presented. It is, simply put, the best degreaser, degrimer, whole home cleaner I've ever seen. This is a great American family out of Baltimore, Maryland. They do one thing, and in my mind, they do it better than anyone else, and they are awesome. GP66. Tonight, you're looking at item number V31232. It is the set to the original. This was the OG from back in the, if you remember, from 13 years ago.
Yeah.
It is on that sale price tonight of, let me take a look, sorry about that, of $24.98. It is on 5 easy pays. That first payment of $5 gets it home for you, as it always does. And the nice thing about it is, if you don't like it, you always have that 30-day money-back, love it or return it guarantee. So let's get cleaning.
Yes, and just to mention too, 2 bottles coming home. These are a concentrated formula. You can dilute them down, but what we're going to do in this demonstration is just full strength on here.
Yeah, and I think we really have made these pretty extreme demonstrations because we want you to understand how well it works. So what you're looking at here is an oven door. Our good friend Adam, who's offset, has burnt this mess on with a blowtorch, literally probably about 45 minutes to an hour ago. There is no getting this off, all right? What I want you to see is, as I turn on GP66 or start spraying it, I want you to see how it starts breaking that mess down at the molecular level. It starts emulsifying it, breaking it down. And I'm not even there yet with a scrub brush, with a scraper, with steel wool, with nothing. It is just breaking this mess down all the way. And as I do this, Kylie, why don't you tell people maybe in your own home what are some of the uses you have for it, why you love GP66
Well,
so
one
much?
of the things that I love about GP66 was, one, it was formulated back in 1966 to clean diesel engines. So if you think if it can tackle diesel engines, imagine the job it's going to do in your own home. But I think in areas like the kitchen, where you've got the grease, the burn-on mess, things where maybe you've tried other cleaners and it hasn't worked before, try GP66, because what it does, as Scotty said, emulsifies it on contact. So I'm going to give him a rag so he can just wipe that up a little bit so you can see he didn't have to touch it, but it also just broke it down. So that's in the kitchen surface. What I'm going to do next to you too is just put a little permanent marker down, and we'll let that dry as well, because it's amazing. Back in the day, you know, they used this to actually beautify the city of Baltimore and getting graffiti off of buildings, things that no other cleaner could tackle. And when we say you have the power of the pros with GP66, you truly do, because other than here at QVC, you can only find this in big 55-gallon drums. It cleans over 900 million square feet of offices, body shops, arenas, cafeterias, schools, you name it, every single day, and now you have that power of the pros.
Well, you and I were a part of the debut of this. I think it was 13 years ago.
It was.
And it's been a long time, right?
Yes.
It's crazy. And now, I know our cards say 2.7 million bottles sold, but that number is from like 2023. I'm sure it's over 3 million by now. And since that, in that time, I think it's because we've told everybody, and we've heard from so many people saying time and time again, this stuff is amazing. Everything we use it on, it just works. And I agree with that, because look at this. This is a quote-unquote, sort of an air quote, permanent marker. There's almost nothing permanent about that when it comes to GP66. You see how it broke it down there once again. And then again, I'm not even there with wool or steel wool or a scrub brush or anything, but then when I come through with the rag, that is completely gone. And then, so the fine folks at Sets and Props don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
I'll take it off the table and we're good to go. So, yeah, go ahead, please.
No, and I was going to say, I'll move on to one of the areas in the kitchen, since you asked where I loved it. And back when we presented this 13 years ago, I actually lived in a house that was built in the 50s. And when you went into it, when we first purchased it, the whole house smelled like bacon. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me why the entire house smelled like bacon and wouldn't go away. Then
and real quick, for those of you who don't know, she's vegetarian. So
yeah.
she
Bacon
does not want meat
what I
smells in her
wanted
house.
my house to smell like.
Go ahead.
So I looked underneath the original hood, and that was it. It was, what, 50 years at that point of grease and grime and buildup. So it's not just even the grease and grime that goes all over when we're cooking. It can be the odors that get caught in that. So this was one of the things that was actually underneath there. So popped it out, and we start to spray this. And again, what it does so differently than a lot of cleaners, because it's a degreaser and a commercial-based degreaser, is that it starts to emulsify on contact. So we spray a little bit right here. Now, if you're going to use it on any food surfaces or anything that you're cooking with, we always say rinse it with potable water, but you see how it's melting off, literally pouring off. I can just pop it in this water.
We'll let it sit there.
Clean that, and you can already see the difference in the water from that grease and grime and the odors coming off of that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then what I love about it too is going to come right here on your right side. And what I love about this too is our good friends at Campanelli's, we're about to present the first family of cleaning here at QVC, some of the nicest people we know. I want you to use, and we want you to use like we do, this in conjunction with the Campanelli microfiber. Best microfiber on the planet. Will it be the mop we show you in a second, or the duster set coming up, or right here, both of our favorite microfiber puppy fur. So what I want you to do is when you get this home, spray some onto your puppy fur rag. And then you're looking right here at stainless steel, right? With the buttery fingerprints on the toaster oven. Well, I want you to come in here and wipe that with the side that you sprayed it on. That eliminates the grease, the butter, and all that stuff. Then you flip it over to the dry side, give it a quick little polish. Look how it brings that back to life. That looks like the day you brought it home from the store. And that's the result you get throughout your home because, you know, back when you and I first started presenting this 13 some odd years ago, we would always say it's what you reach for when you've reached for everything else. And finally we were just like, duh, just reach for this first because it is truly your whole home cleaner.
Yeah, and I think if you ask any of the cleaning experts here at QVC, they all have a bottle of this in their cleaning arsenal because it truly is one of those cleaners. You're not going to find this at a grocery store. You can really only get this at QVC. And tonight we have two of our supersize, Degreaser and Degrimer. So you will get two of these bottles home. They are a concentrated formula. There's dilution instructions on the back of it too if you want to dilute it down, or you can use it full strength. And typically you can see if purchased separately, this would be about $43.98. Each bottle goes for around $21.99. So just for a few dollars, you're getting that extra bottle here tonight. And when you try GP66, you're never going to want to be without it in your cleaning.
Yeah, and two, let me be very clear, 2 bottles goes a long way, but actually doesn't go as long as you think because you will start finding reasons to take this around your home, whether it be your kitchen, your garage, outside coming up. How about your gutters, your concrete, like you saw in the video? Best thing ever for the rims of your car.
Absolutely.
Okay, so whether you drive a little clunker like me or a Ferrari like Kylie, you're good to go.
I've got a truck.
She does have a truck. She uses it on the truck too. So, so what we're talking about here with Campanelli, again, you're going to see a great Campanelli set coming up next that her and I are going to talk about. But I want you to use this on with your microfiber, your Campanelli microfiber mop. They made a white mop head for me, which I appreciate because what we're going to do here is really show you the core of what GP66 does best. It's the grease, the grime, it's the hidden dirt. It's not about the dirt you see when you're cleaning like Kylie talked about with the bacon. It's about the dirt, grease, and grime you don't see. So see how I'm spraying this down here. As I mop this, you will look at this wood floor and say to yourself, okay, Scott, I guess that's a little bit better. And you can see a slight difference. No problem. We'll get down here. We'll come back. You see that line right there? It's a little bit better. So I'm going to finish this up. But you're thinking to yourself, Scott, that doesn't really impress me. Anything can make a floor look shiny until we flip this over. That's your proof in the pudding. That's a proof it's working for you. That's all the hidden dirt that your pets aren't on, that your kids aren't playing on, that isn't in your home. That's what you could be doing right now in these cold winter months to clean up your house. So when it does come time for it to be warm outside, head out and go do the things you want to do. Get it clean now.
Yeah, and we've showed you a lot of hard surfaces too, but there's a lot of soft surfaces, if you will, that you can use this on. It's amazing if you get a stain on your floor to pre-treat and then maybe use your Bissell. I had actually, we showed you the permanent marker, but I had one of my dogs eat a permanent marker and left little trails all around. And that's like one of those moments where you're like, well, it's worth a shot because my rug's ruined otherwise if I don't at least try that. So you could use that. And again, 2 bottles tonight of that concentrated formula. This is our supersize, the one we started with, the one where literally over 3 million bottles have been sold of, probably even more than that here. And remember, each bottle typically would be about $21.99 on their own because this is truly the power of the pros. If you get the bottles here at QVC, you won't find this anywhere else other than in big 55-gallon drums in the commercial space. So really, it's a great savings that you have because the sale price is $24.98, and then you do have 5 easy payments too. So just for $5, we'll get it home.
And just in the first few minutes of this 8 o'clock hour, we've had over 200 of you dial in for good reason because a lot of you are return customers. You know GP66. And some of you are saying, hey, it's got to be something because look at all these different things we've done. So, Kylie, what I'm going to do is finish up here. If you want to head on over to the Campanellis, and I will join you in just about 30 to 40 seconds. I'll do one last demonstration here on V313. 31332, sorry guys. And so it is the GP66 set of 2. Real quick, when you get this home, this is tried and true way to show you how it works because like Kylie so absolutely perfectly put it, when that grease and grime goes in your air, it doesn't go horizontally, it doesn't go vertically, it goes everywhere. Real quick, take one of these white cloths, and what I want you to do, spray it some on here, you see how it's white, go onto your cabinets, especially if you have dark cabinets. They are the devil's playground for dirt, grease, and grime. I know as you look at this, you think to yourself, you know what, Scott, that just looks shiny because you put GP66. That's the grease, that's the grime that you don't see. That's where those odors are. That's, again, with GP66, it's not about the dirt you see, it's about the dirt you don't see. But if you need a way to clean those areas up, no better family, no better line of products to do it than the Campanelli family. Joe and Chris, some of our very closest friends in this business. They are wonderful human beings. They stand behind everything they do. And here to start us off with it is Kylie.